All right, welcome in. It's a football Sunday. We're all not showered. We're all kind of getting ready to collectively snort the NFL red zone. So we're pumped. Dylan Corbett, we've got a good – this is Corbett's Corner. We got a good little bit of an echo there, maybe perhaps between Cruisin and Ty, maybe on your volume. But I do want to introduce our panel. We've got the Dalsin brothers, Ty, Al, introduce them shortly. They're our Vikings guys. We've got Matthew Cruisin, of course, my co-host. We've got Sebastian Urban back, our Eagles guy. Eagles, a game that people are going to keep an eye on here today. So we're excited. Quickly, let's just recap. Cruisin and I had some college picks for you yesterday. Cruisin almost had the clean sweep. He finished 3-1. I went 2-2. I told you guys, round us up. Let's go. America, Boston College. We're going to be hammering our bookies all year long. Boston College, right where I want to start. Disrespected by Duke, by Vegas. 6 points? Come on. My goodness. I hit that on Monday. I hit that on Tuesday. I think I won about 6 total units on just Boston College. Had a pretty good – I think I ended up – I had a great start to the day. Ended up finishing about up 6 units. So BC really carried me. Matt, I know you watched this game. Jeff Hafley, the offense had some trouble at first, but Phil Jakovic made a bad interception, but he was showing off that arm. He threw for over 10 yards per pass attempt he was averaging. That was incredible. So it's completely – I don't think Duke is very good. So I'm kind of, holding back on full-blown, we're going to be competing for an ACC championship this year. But as a Boston College fan, we have a defense, forced a lot of turnovers, which I know are lucky. Those are going to even out as the season goes on. But we've got a defense, and we got someone who could throw the football. Running has been our game. We were absent from the run game. David Bailey was less than 3 yards to carry. He was backing up A.J. Dillon, who went pro last year. So BC rolls Duke. Duke had 6 points. Imagine that. They were a 6-point favorite. They scored just 6 points the entire game. So America, join me. BC, I think they're legit. Matt, how did you see this game? And then we'll go into Bass's thoughts, who caught the game as well.
Exactly what we expected, hope for. Sometimes Vegas just has it wrong. 6 points. I said, what points? Give me plus 190. Phil Jurkovic, exactly what you expected, slinging it around. Like you said on Thursday, best QB that they've probably had since Matt Ryan. Hafley had the defense locked in. Duke didn't do anything. Like you said, pump the brakes a little bit. They didn't beat a top 25 team by any means, but definitely liked what you saw. Can't expect much else, and looking forward to what's next.
Sebastian, I had you locked in on this Eagles spread from the get-go, and you were kind of watching it. When it was 7-6 at half, were you, okay, Dylan, what are you talking about? This team kind of stinks. And then you sent me a message once we got that crazy strip play in the Duke red zone, right? So that kind of changed the tide of the game. How did you see the game from an unbiased fan standpoint who was on their spread from a gambling standpoint?
Sure. I mean, I was definitely, slightly worried in the first half just because I caught the spread at plus 3.5. I caught it when it already, went down to 3.5. But the defense looked like some dogs. I mean, when they came out in the second half, forced that interception, or fumble was it? From then on, they didn't let Duke do anything. So the offense looked a little shaky in the first half, but they definitely picked it up as well. And the defense definitely led the way.
That's good stuff. We're going to get the Dalsin brothers here in just a little bit as well as we segue into NFL. But quickly, Cruisin and I were on the opposite sides of this Notre Dame game. I hit Duke against Notre Dame in terms of the 20-point cover spread. They covered easily. So I basically went back to the well, not fading Notre Dame in any way, but just saying, hey, another 24 points, I'll go USF. Matt comfortably laid the points with Notre Dame. And, wow, you could have laid 50, right? They shut him out. How about you enjoyed a nice Saturday there as an Irish fan?
Yes, comfortably covered. Could have covered 2 of those spreads. The defense is locked in. That's what will carry Notre Dame this year. Clark Lee, a very good defensive coordinator, only in his second year, and he's like 35 years old. Offense had short field position all day. None of the stats jump off the page. They just took care of the ball, moved the ball, scored at will. I expected her out. We got her out, and onward.
Good stuff. Yeah, so college football really getting going. Big Ten announced their schedule yesterday. They're coming back. We're going to get some Maction Tuesdays, apparently. Now everyone was rushing to cancel. Now they're all rushing to get back. It's just the world we live in nowadays. Kind of crazy. All right, let's go into the NFL. We're going to go with the Dalsins here. A little bit round table, rapid fire. We're going to get you guys in and out, some quick information. Hope to have you guys come across this on your timeline sometime before the red zone and get you guys a little bit informed with some bets. So with the Dalsins, they're wearing their Minnesota Vikings jerseys. Ty, will begin with you, and then we'll just go in a line. Ty, Al, Sebastian, Cruz. We're each going to give you 2 bets and then wrap this all up with our best bets. Ty, I know you've got some props, my friend. Lay away.
I do have a couple props here. I am actually going to have my best bet coming from the Minnesota game, as we are both very excited to hopefully have the Vikings get back on track and get a tally in the win column. However, I'm going to look on the opposite side of the ball today. I think T.Y. Hilton over 66.5 receiving yards. You got to lock it in. Last week he had 4 catches on 53 yards. He had 9 targets. The Vikings defense last week was the equivalent to a below-average high school football team.
Yes.
There was 0 pass rush, and gave up 364 yards to Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is also a little bit more mobile. But if Phillip Rivers is able to just sit back in the pocket and throw the ball away, he's going to be able to find T.Y. Hilton. No Cameron Dancer this weekend, so the very anemic secondary for the Vikings becomes even more thin. And then another play that I like is Rob Gronkowski over 34.5 receiving yards. No Chris Godwin today in Tampa. He has been ruled out. I think that Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski dust the cobwebs off, and they make the long off-season transition here into what they used to look like in New England.
Yeah, that's good stuff, Al. I'll get to you right here. So we'll give you the 2 bets here. I like that as well. Good information. T.Y. Hilton against, as you said, the Vikings were just the secondary. That's a huge issue coming into the season. I think it was glaring. So we'll give 2 good bets there. Nice one there, Ty, and we'll go down the line and we'll wrap this up with our best bets. So, Al, we heard some props. What do you got, my friend?
I'm going to kind of stick with the trend on this first one here. I got a prop that I like. Saquon Barkley over 4.5 receptions.
A little bounce back, huh?
Yeah, a little bounce back, yeah. I think I don't see the Giants winning this game, and I think at the end there's going to be some garbage time where the Bears just kind of play a little prevent defense, and they'll just toss the ball to Barkley, and he'll pick up 10 yards maybe a couple of times there. But throughout his career, he's averages over 6 targets a game, and I think
that's a good stuff. I mean, he's a guy that's a dual threat back, running, and dump off. If you get a couple of dump offs there with Daniel Jones, you're on the right track there with that bet. What else you got?
And then the other one I like is the Vikings-Colts game over 49 points.
I locked that in as well.
I think the Colts put up 17 points in one half last week, which if they do that against the Vikings defense that did not show up today, I think could put up 17 points each half. And then the Vikings, Kirk Cousins in garbage time, he usually makes the most of it and can pick apart a defense. Quickly
before I get Sebastian here, you two, Vikings win?
I do have the Vikings winning, but some people might say it's a little biased, but I do think they squeak it out.
Both you guys on the Vikings. Okay, here's another 0-1 team. Sebastian, before we get to your 2 bets here, Eagles, they're favored against the Rams. They going to get it done?
I saw an interesting stat the other day. Lane Johnson will be playing this week, and I just want to tell you Carson Wentz's TD to interception ratio with Johnson in the lineup is 3.9. Without him in the lineup, it drops to 1.2. I think him being back is going to be a huge addition for that offensive line, and I think they can pull it out today, get back to 1-1.
That's good stuff. Yeah, they were Chase Young had the Washington, what was it, 7 sacks or something crazy? They had their way with Philadelphia there for a little bit, and now you got to welcome in Aaron Donald. Okay, so you've got the Eagles bouncing back. What are 2 of your bets you have placed for this weekend?
Sure. Al, I'm actually going a little bit against you here. I think the Giants game is actually going to be pretty close. I have Giants plus 5.5 here. A couple reasons behind that. I mean, Daniel Jones showed the ability to move the ball against a really tough Steelers defense. That's, definitely a little tougher than what he's going to be facing today with the Bears. And in addition, I mean, the Bears looked pretty bad for the better part of the game. I mean,
For 3/4, correct.
3/4, right. And then Mitch Trubisky turned it up in the fourth. I think the Giants, I don't think they win today, but they keep it close enough, cover the 5.5 spread.
I agree. Yeah, 5.5 is interesting. I'm personally on the Bears because I think the Giants are just not that good. But 5.5, I think you could catch that back door. And who knows? Maybe you're catching the public giving a little too much value to the Bears after just one quarter, right? What's your other bet for us, Sebastian? And we'll bring in Matt here.
My other one is Steelers minus 6.5. That pass rush I think is going to be too much for Drew Lock to handle. And the only reason that, the Broncos were even in a close game last week is because Gostkowski is 1 for 4 from field goals. That's the only reason that game was even close. And I think the Steelers just annihilate him and roll today.
That's good stuff. Yeah, I mean, I've covered the Broncos for the last 3 years or so, and one thing I've noticed that they are terrible at, going to Eastern time zones. I like that play. I think they're going to get smacked today. Two good defenses, so that's a little bit worrisome with the 6.5. But if Roethlisberger wins by a touchdown, I think they could do it. The Broncos really struggle in that Eastern time zone when they're traveling on Sundays. Matt, what do you got there as my email fires off here? Oh, wow, I'm getting Pro Play Systems right on cue. Let's get some Pro Play Systems from Matt. What do you got on this NFL Sunday?
Yes, back to the Vikings-Colts game. Jonathan Taylor over 60.5 rushing yards. I think it is his coming out party with Marlon Mack done with the torn Achilles. Last week, Phillip Rivers attempted 46 passes. That is not going to happen again, as poor as the Viking secondary was. I like Jonathan Taylor to have a big day. Then for your Falcons, Dylan, Russell Gage over 4.5 receptions at plus 125. Give me the juice. Russell Gage, ever since being thrust into the starting slot role with the Falcons towards the last half of last year, in 5 of the last 6 games, he's gone over 4.5 catches in those games. Last week, 9 catches, 122 yards. I don't think he does that again, but I think the Falcons are playing catch up the whole time to the Cowboys. They're airing it out. I think Russell Gage gets half a dozen catches, and that's all we need. And then real quick, from on Thursday, I said I like David Montgomery's rushing prop. If it's anything under 70, it's at 55.5.
Wow.
I think the Bears come out and establish the run game. I think they have a lead at the end of the game. So I think Montgomery, 15 to 20 carries, that should be more than enough for him to get over 55.5.
I like that. Yeah, the Falcons, I hate them. All the sharps are on them again. I'm not falling for it this week, guys. You guys can lose your money on the Falcons. I'll watch it if we're happen to be in the NFL red zone. That are a disgrace. If Boston College didn't win so convincingly yesterday, I'd be a wreck today. So let's get into it there. Best bets, we'll run right through it here and then wrap this up. And, we'll probably, we'll post a pod out tomorrow recapping NFL Sunday, of course, as well. Do want to say, please subscribe. Trying to get to 1,000 by September next year. Thank you to those that have already subscribed. I'm trying to get to 40 by the end of this coming week. So thank you for listening, watching. We appreciate it, and we're going to keep doing this for you guys. So my best bet, I made this earlier in the week. I'm on the Bills. I think the Bills are legit. Cruisen's high on them as well. He punched their AFC East ticket way back when in the offseason. So I was on the Bills -6 from the get-go as my best bet. And again, best bets, we're going to keep ourselves accountable each week. So I am on the Bills, and we'll just quickly run through it and then wrap this up. Ty, followed by Al, followed by Sebastian and Matt. Go ahead.
So my best bet, I'm actually going to be changing it. I had lean towards the Seahawks that I was going to play as my best bet, but my best bet is actually going to be the jersey I'm wearing right now. Adam Thielen, over 68.5 receiving yards. Last week, Gardner Minshew completed 95% of his passes against his secondary. Thielen, I believe, will outduel Xavier Rhodes today, his former teammate. Moral of the story, roads were closed in Minnesota, but roads are wide open in Indy today, boys.
My best bet, I'm playing Deontay Johnson over 5 receptions this week. Last week, I know it's a small sample size with only 1 week to look off so far this year, but he led the team in targets, 10 targets last week. Volume's there, and I think volume will be duplicated today, and he'll go over 5.
I like it. Sebastian?
I got Niners -7. Let me just really quickly read you Sam Darnold's supporting cast for today. He's got Frank Gore and Kalen Ballage at running back. And then at receiver, Brashard Perryman, Chris Hogan, and Braxton Berrios. The fact that I just don't think they're going to be able to move the ball consistently enough to keep this within a 1-possession game.
I like that. That's great. Yeah, the Jets suck. Matt, wrap us up here. Bring us home.
Hey, take it easy on Frank Gore. He's moving all the way into the Hall of Fame 4 yards at a time.
Yes.
Best bet, Chiefs -8. I think it's up to -9 or -9.5 now. It started at 5.5. They win by 3 scores. Dylan, take your 6 units from Boston College, roll it over onto the Chiefs, and have yourself a weekend.
Yes. Keep it going. We've had ourselves a good week. So if you've been following on, we're going to be calling our bookies, hitting them with that Venmo request on a Tuesday. One of my favorite activities. We've got Ty and Al Dalsin, the Dalsin brothers, repping Minnesota. We've got Sebastian Urban back on Corbet's Corner here, repping the Eagles. And, of course, yours truly, Dylan Corbett and Matthew Cruz. And thanks for listening. Subscribe, please. We're going to keep doing this for you guys. And we thank you for listening, and we hope you're winning with us. Take care. This is a Sunday edition of Corbett's Corner, and we'll be back recapping tomorrow. Take care, folks.